Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 8 German cruiser Admiral Hipper. It has 8 203mm guns, 12 torpedoes, 58 AA defense rating, a surface detect of 12.4 kilometers, top speed 32 knots, total health 43,800. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main armament, improved aiming accuracy, reduce the chance of flood and fire, faster rudder shift, concealment. For my commander, situation awareness, basic survivability, faster turret traverse, and superintendent. We are on the map Neighbors, and yes, I know, Neighbors again. Yeah, I haven't played this map or shared a video on it forever, and now we get two back-to-back. Well, that's just the way it works, right? My friend Poimain has not had internet for over a month, and finally, he can play the game, and we wanted to take our tier 8s out. Now, something interesting happened to me yesterday. As I was going to sleep, dreaming of sheep, someone posted my Amagi video on the World of Warships subreddit. And obviously that video in particular is showcasing the stopwatch aiming technique. And it probably does a good job in selling it. 164,000 points of damage, and pretty much every salvo was very accurate. Yeah, I'd say that really helps sell the fact that it is giving you information. And of course, the range of emotions on the internet is just something to behold. This is giving me absolutely nothing to, this is amazing, this invalidates everything, it's straight up cheating. I replied, and I basically said, I'm going to be making a more comprehensive aiming video. I do have proof that it has existed since the beginning of the game, and it's just amazing it hasn't gone public until now. There have apparently been alpha posts about it. So at least alpha testers knew it existed. So that means Wargaming knew it existed. And it never really stretched past that. Now, there was a European representative for Wargaming who said, "Oh, it's a glitch. Don't worry, we'll fix it in the next patch." Yeah, that's some PR bull. They knew it existed. Absolutely. They were probably just shocked that it wasn't more mainstream. How many people have known about this and said nothing? That's the most disgusting thing about this. Someone replied, "Oh, Notser, how long has he used it?" And I really like that I have always tried to explain exactly in detail how I play the game, so you knew exactly when I was using it. But I like and enjoy empowering my viewers, informing the 99%, so they are as knowledgeable as the 1%. Now I'm going to engage the Cleveland, and I did confirm that the lead was true. Unfortunately, it was an extremely long shot, and he had time to maneuver away, just as he would previously, just as he can if someone is using an aim assist mod. These don't guarantee you're going to hit the target. All they do is communicate the intent of the target if they don't change their course at all. And players are much more skilled now. I find it a real challenge at times to find the success that I found earlier on. You know, my skill level has gone up, but so has everyone else. At least I like to believe that. And I really, truly do hope that everyone is enjoying their time with the game. They're finding more success than they did previously, and they will continue to improve with the game. That is the goal of the channel. That has always been the goal since the very beginning. I like to explain in great detail exactly what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about trying to take out this enemy cruiser and trying to predict that he's going to continue his turn to go the other direction. And we lead him in that direction with AP. We get about 4,200 points of damage, which isn't bad considering the angle. Right now, the game is pretty close. It's pretty early, obviously, and I'm pretty far back, but that's the advantage of the German and Soviet cruisers. Their velocity, their shells are more successful at a longer range, and it allows you to pick and pop against targets that just can't engage you. And I was just considering, who should I engage? Should I engage the Cleveland? This Hipper, he's got great angling. It's not ideal. You notice that I sort of tried to confirm where he was moving, and I never actually saw confirmation that the stopwatch was blinking. And again, I'm still trying to confirm. It sort of looks like he might be considering backing up. And yes, indeed he is. And you can sort of gauge that by the smokestack. It's sort of be pushing forward of the ship. And we lead in reverse, and funny enough, we hit him. We don't hit him for a lot. And I do switch to HE because the angle is just so extreme, and he is actually continuing to move backwards. Maybe he is trying to line of sight a friendly ship. We set him on fire, which is nice. He puts out the fire. So we're just going to continue the process. Cruisers have terrible immunity time. It's probably like 7 or 10 seconds, if that. So your next salvo basically will set the target on fire if it has the ability to set the target on fire. Obviously AP with no demolition expert is not going to set the target on fire. And we continue engaging this single cruiser. He's the only one who can engage me. He's using AP. I am using HE, and it is working out better for me than it is for him. Sometimes, even in a AP focused class, you've got to use HE. The chip damage might be the difference between winning and losing later on. Now, he is moving forward, he's tired of this engagement, he's maybe hoping that I'm going to soften my angle. I see that he's firing, so I angle away. Because of the distance, I relatively easily avoid the shells. I hit him, unfortunately for him. He doesn't angle. You have to actively angle if you're engaging a target. Now, we've lost a significant amount of friendly ships. The enemy, however, does not have control on any of the bases, but they are in the process of taking control. I engage the sims. Again, I bounce the stopwatch. And this is one thing that I would say the stopwatch has really helped me out. It is good for ranging in a destroyer. And what I try and do is I try and move the entire length of the destroyer, and I want to get right to the front of the ship. And how do you do that, Notser? Well, the stopwatch is blinking. It is expanding and contracting as you move along the ship's hull. Basically, expect that the ship has just moved forward that 4 seconds that the shell travels to the target. And as long as you can find the front of the ship and the back of the ship, you can find that sweet spot to engage the enemy destroyer. I have noticed an extremely high hit percentage against destroyers since making use of this. You know, I would probably hit a destroyer at 10, 11, 12 kilometers, 1 in every 3, 1 in every 4 shots. And now I'm probably 50%. And that's an extremely high increase, I think. And that is in part because you can confirm the location of the ship, sort of, if they maintain their direction. The friendly battleship's able to take out the enemy destroyer. Now, he might have sent torpedoes, but the Sims is sort of notorious for not having good torpedoes. They're pretty average. They're very slow. So you should be able to, if predicted correctly, engage your thrusters and avoid. Now, I'm still on this flank. There's still a lot of enemy ships. This enemy cruiser is pretty neutral. It's not an easy shot. I have to fire HE. AP's just going to bounce off harmlessly. I'm looking for some fires. He comes to a complete stop. He sort of starts backing up. And I try and confirm that, is he backing up? Is he forward? I fire in reverse, hoping that he will go in reverse. I try and avoid the shots incoming, and we do pretty good damage. And he is indeed in reverse. So as long as the smoke is pushing forward of the smokestack, it's going to be a telltale indicator that he's in full reverse. I'm going to continue to lead him in that direction. Now there's, 4 enemy ships that could potentially engage me. I am absolutely 100% overextended. There's only 5 friendly ships left in this match. This is the point in the match where I can be taken out, friendly can be taken out, and the game will be over. So I have to be very careful. I decide to head forward, switch to AP, fire on the superstructure, and get massive damage because this enemy battleship is just showing so much side. And the nice thing about this, I'm now in range of torpedoes, so I expect that he's going to try and turn away. He knows I have torpedoes. I stop. He overshoots a ton. And this is an active back and forth. AP continuously on the side of a ship. Maybe a little bit too low, but the torpedoes should be able to do a ton of damage. And the island is right in the way of his team. His team can't help him. It's a 1v1, and the torpedoes will definitely hit him. We do another 5,800 with AP, and then a 30,000 combined. 3 torpedoes. He's gonna flood out if he can't repair it. I, however, have a much bigger issue right now. We have a bunch of enemy ships. Now, I'm firing AP, trying to have a broadside citadel. Unfortunately, the enemy Atago is really good at avoiding, and I'm trying to be as neutral as possible at all the AP incoming. Now, this Cleveland is not avoiding, and we get a pretty cheeky 2,500, and he realizes it. He tries to angle his ship. He's firing AP. Unfortunately for him, we, fortunately, absorb a ton of it, and he is killed by a friendly. But that does not end the threat. Now, you might say, oh, Notser, you should just go after the close enemy ship, not the far away. But this guy's broadside. I'm not going to pass that up. I don't get any citadels. And every single cooldown, I am confirming that the enemy ship, the enemy Atago, is showing his side. If he's not, I'm going after the person that is. Poimain sent out torpedoes, and we did 9,600 points of damage at Citadel. And now that I have a friendly that's very close, very unhealthy, I can be a little bit more brazen, because the enemies are more likely to fire at my friend. So I can really maximize that damage. Now, this is a risk-reward, most definitely, but the enemy ships are not firing on me. The ones that are missing completely. And the enemy Hipper, he's behind an island. Can't really engage him. Every single salvo, I'm confirming the health of my friendly to basically confirm that I can continue to be aggressive with my gun. And oh no, here comes a North Carolina shot. Didn't really predict this one, but he misses. The continued turn doesn't really help him out. It, of course, helps me out. And as we're turning, we are sort of rotating around the enemy Atago. And he's sort of angling against me actively. Now, maybe he recognizes who I am. That's fine. And I'm going to try and engage him. Every single shot, he's running out of health. Even at this great angle, he just can't weather the storm as well as he would like. The enemy Hipper in the background dies, probably to one of those battleships. And now he drops below 361 health. Friendlies finish off the target. Actually, Pointmate did it. Good, good. I use my hydroacoustic just to protect. A torpedo would really devastate me, and there is a potential that the enemy dropped his torpedoes. We just gotta make sure we don't fall for that trap. Now, this New Mexico, not upgraded, is showing a perfect broadside to us. We're gonna shove in that AP and do massive damage. I'm re-angling in between the North Carolina shot. It's important that you understand, okay, battleships have a long shot. You don't want to be caught out in a perfect broadside when a battleship can fire on you. It's very dangerous. And someone does a big shot. We only hit one of our shells, because that's all that was left in the enemy's health pool, and take out the target. Now, the North Carolina has been passive. I think that's the best word to describe the North Carolina. And I'm going to make use of my island. I can easily engage him. The shell velocity, the shell arc, is just high enough that I can reach over the island and engage the target. Unfortunately, I'm being spotted probably by the enemy destroyer as he takes B. So I can't really afford to be that stationary. But I do eventually find a sweet spot where the island is blocking both the North Carolina and the destroyer. And I don't want to be too close that I can't fire overhead. But I also would like to go destroyer hunting. You all know I hate destroyers, at least when I'm not in a destroyer, and hopefully you also do this too, and you probably have recognized, oh wow, if we take out a destroyer, it's much more fun and safe to play the game. They just provide so much spotting information, so much unseen threat, that it really informs and changes the way a battleship wants to play the match. Now, has that informed and changed the way this North Carolina wanted to play the match? I don't think so. I think he's just a passive player. And hopefully we can punish him for that. I really felt like in that moment the enemy team could easily wipe the floor with us for C, but they didn't end up doing it. And the enemy Benson shows up. He's engaging. We fire AP because that's what was loaded. And I do significant amount of damage. We earn high caliber, but he is rotating around the island just fast enough that it's probably going to clip the island if I fire, and this is the danger. So I'm just hoping that he'll turn away, and eventually he does. He pops his smoke, and we target directly on the ship because I felt like he was going to come to a complete stop. And of course, I missed the shot. He is now hidden from view. I don't have hydro up any longer. I have to wait 2 minutes. This match is going to be over in 2 minutes, so I've got to be careful. Now, I fire, and I didn't realize there was a nice clean gap between the island and the smoke where the North Carolina could see me firing. I only do 1600. I don't cause a fire. I switch to AP, and oh, the Benson is revealed. I believe the Benson was revealed because he decided to fire his gun and the aircraft went overhead. So I try and return fire. I actually get one shot. Oh, please don't do this in my moment of glory. We scrape against the island, and this is not a textbook Notser, but I would say it qualifies. It definitely qualifies, and I need to be very careful. The Benson is very much aware. He just fired on me. He might be setting up an ambush behind the island. And I sort of want to wait. Oh, now he knows exactly where I am. I sort of want to wait for my aircraft to go overhead, and there it is. It's about to go over, and yes, indeed, that sneaky slime. He was waiting for me, and here come the torpedoes. So I drop the speed. Friendly Poimain engages a target. I say, "He tried to kill me!" And Poimain goes, okay, you can kill him. And he lets me kill him. Because that Benson wanted to kill me with his torpedoes, and that's not going to happen, my friend. But no! The North Carolina, he also fires on me. But he overshoots. Story of the North Carolina's game, right? He's just overshot every single time. And now it's... Did he really get torpedoes out? And back up! Don't take it on the bow! Oh, we do. It was that Atlantic bow. If we were rocking the old bow, it wouldn't have hit. Obviously it would have, but it's always funny to suggest that a change would have negatively impacted you. Now, we do 8K to the North Carolina. He fires again. Oh, don't hit. Oh, okay. Wow. We've backed up just in the nick of time. Unfortunately, my shells are now hitting the island. Oh, someone kill this guy. 995 points. 999. And the game is going to end without us having a chance to kill a 7 hit point target. Man, he got lucky. That evil island. We must continue our war against islands, though. We got devastating strike, high caliber, 3 kills, 143,000 points of damage, 2,479 base XP. Poimain did a great job. The Tashkent did a good job. Man, that Benson, he had 4 kills, 2,104 base XP for him. Most of my damage from AP, but we did do 30,000 in torpedoes, which feels great. And I hope you enjoyed that match, especially that fight for C. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.